on the bass, Mr. Quentin Brown. Great set of music and impressive. What do you think? Huh? Can you play like that? You that good? All right. Yeah, you can see why I decided they can host the jam for the whole evening. They can handle it. All right. Get over here. Get close to the mic. Get close to the mic. All right. Oh, I got some questions for you. I talked about music heals, but it also develops brains, and all three of y'all have been playing this blues music. Oh, now you're really in the dark. Okay, well, this way, everybody. All right, we'll get this started. And yeah, go ahead, I'll put this down. Is that all right?
Sorry.
Oh, let's go to feedback. Oh, it's not all right. Sorry, my bad. You knew that was going to happen, didn't you? Sorry, Fraser. All on me. Ooh, he's good. Okay. All right, welcome to 88 Keys here on Monday night. It's great to have all three of you youngsters. Under 18, I'd say, yeah, we're even under 16. Wait, you're 16.
I'm
okay.
16.
Let me make that clear. You know what? I'd love for you to have that mic too, because we got three of you. Why don't you go ahead and grab that one, Josh? We'll get this together. Okay. All right, here we go. There we go. All right, we're here tonight on Monday night with Jumpin Josh, Violet, and Felicia. What's your last name, Felicia?
Agreelius.
That's right. I knew I was going to need help on that. And Quentin Brown on the bass. We just heard a great set of music here on Monday night at 88 Keys. And y'all went to Memphis this year. It was a big deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Eat that mic.
Okay, I'm the wordy one, you guys. Okay. So, the South Sound Blues Association puts on this really cool competition called Back to Beale Street. And there's a solo duo portion and then a band portion. And this year, last year, Josh and I competed in the solo duo portion, and then the South Sound Blues Association chose us to go down to Memphis, Tennessee to represent them in the competition. Now, this competition had like international musicians from all around the globe. There was over 80 solo duo musicians, I believe, and we competed and we played in one of the glorious clubs down on Beale Street, and it was just a fantastic experience, kind of once in a lifetime. It changed my outlook on music.
Oh, I bet. Well, and you got a song, Walking Through Memphis. Did you write a verse, Walking in Memphis, to kind of add to that a little, or?
Actually, it didn't. It might seem like it because it fits so well because of our trip, but actually, thinking about music, trying to make a set for the competition to be picked, and actually listen to that song was like, this is just so perfect. It just had to play that song.
Well, you know, I had that same experience when I was first there and eating the catfish on Beale Street. It was like, oh, wait a second, we need this in Pioneer Square, we need some catfish. So it really does change your life to really get a perspective on the history of the music, doesn't it? I mean, there's not a lot of radio that'll bring this to you, right? So how did you all, each one of you, how did you find out about the blues? How did you, Josh, first get to the blues musically?
Well, getting there, physically getting there, that would be my parents. Well, since I was, I don't know, 2 something, been taking me to blues festivals all over, especially like Sundance Blues Fest, and then kind of expanding out to other ones, and just always been around the blues and just kind of picked up on it.
6.5 years old, you actually remember picking up an instrument. Which one was it first for you?
First was guitar. That was actually around 8.5. Asked my dad if we could do guitar lessons together, and of course he's like, yeah. So that's how he puts it. He always said, whenever he tells a story, he's always like, yeah. So that's kind of how that started, and we just kind of, I'll put it as how he put it. He always says this, talking about it. We took lessons together in the same class, and he just took off normal, and he always says, I kind of just shut up. He's like that, and I really don't think it was that much, but I like the way he puts it.
So it felt natural, didn't it? The guitar was like...
Yeah, it did. Guitar was probably the most natural, and it just came to be the best out of all the instruments I played.
What other instruments are those?
That would be bass guitar, which is pretty much the same thing, just a little different. Drums, to an extent. You really kind of have to have rhythm to play any instrument. So, harmonica, saxophone, I would say I own a flute. I wouldn't say I play the flute. But, and vocals, so that's about it.
All right, and vocals. Vocals are great. Where did you learn how to sing?
Didn't really necessarily learn how to sing. Actually, when I started taking guitar lessons with Nicole Fournier, she gave me a lot of pointers on how to sing. I also had a few lessons with a vocal coach that kind of gave me some pointers on what the right way to sing, right way to breathe in, those kind of things.
That's important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Made a big difference for your tone and your
Actually,
ability.
it has a major difference, especially on how you project sound. It's like once you know like the proper way, it makes everything a lot easier.
You named Nicole Fournier, you also did one of her songs. What are some of the other mentors that have been a part of your development here?
Well, now I'm taking guitar lessons with Joe Glennis. He actually he'll play any kind of music. It just kind of teaches me how to support a band, not just to be out there and that. But it's a lot of chordal, how to accompany people. Also, for saxophone lessons, I take lessons with Ted Dortch. He's probably one of the best saxophone players in the Northwest, if not the West Coast, you almost say. So I actually learned a lot from studying with him. We actually worked on a lot of jazz stuff with him.
Did you bring your sax tonight?
No.
Oh man, it hurts me, man. All right, well, we'll have to have you back then. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I hand that mic to Felicia for a second. I got a couple. I'll come back to you though. Don't you doubt it. Felicia, drums. How did you pick your instrument?
So, my dad's best friend plays the drums in Atlanta, Georgia, and they were always close to each other when I was a little kid. And I was kind of that girl who was like, Barbies, psh, I don't need those. And I wanted to do something different and not like the cliche girls, let's get on the microphone and sing and wear a pretty dress type of thing. And so I picked up the drums. My parents actually gave me one of those really cheap electronic drum sets for Christmas, and I played on it until it broke. And so my parents figured, well, we ought to just give her a full drum set, and I did that, and it kind of just morphed into my life.
So, what kind of comments do you get from people? Because I know you probably do get comments from people about being a chick drummer. All right, I'm sure there's some of that, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. It's kind of before I get up and play. They're like, oh, honey, okay, we'll play an easy song for you. You'll probably know this one. Something like, Stormy Monday, or something slower, more down low. They kind of hold my hand and tell me, oh, yes, it's you play it like this. And then after the first song, they're like, okay, we can do whatever. No big deal. It's really cool. I mean, I like that because women's equality, woohoo! No,
Right, ladies. Go ahead, cheers. All right. Gotta inspire her back. All
I get
right.
wonderful wows and
Cool.
yeah, definitely.
Emphasize the positive. So yes, you are going to school. You're not going to school for music. Tell me about your school career that's coming up here.
I'm not. I'm actually looking, I'm going to be a senior in high school next year, and I'm looking to go to a bigger college like UCLA, Berkeley, Stanford, that type of thing to study international relations and economics, and then potentially a minor in political science.
Oh my goodness, we have a future leader here, ladies and gentlemen.
I sure hope so.
All right, give her some applause. She's got some vision about her life. She's not sitting on the drum set.
No.
All right, so go back to Josh.
Here you go, Josh.
Tell me about your musical, where was I going with that? Sorry, I just dropped on the shelf. Okay, tell me about your gear.
What I brought, or go through the list, because that might take too long.
What you brought? You got two, electric and acoustic, and you got an acoustic that's a Fender. What is
Yes.
your...
It's a Fender Kingsman. It's actually really nice for the price. It plays really well. The neck actually has like a Stratocaster style neck on it, so it doesn't really feel like an acoustic. But if anyone that plays guitar kind of understands that normally it's kind of hard to press down and play on an acoustic guitar, but it's kind of much more comfortable. That's a pretty good tone too.
What about your amp?
The PV Classic 30. Actually, speaking of Nicole Fournier, actually this was hers. Actually ended up getting it at I can't remember. Easy Exchange in Tacoma, and I talking to the guy looking at the amp and said, "Oh yeah, that was Nicole Fournier." I was like, "Whoa," because we actually had the other one that went with that, and that we got from Nicole. And it's like just happened to look at the same one. It's just the pair is really kind of cool.
Serendipity was meant to be yours.
It was.
Okay, so you, I was going to ask about your school, because you are actually a very accomplished student yourself. I know you don't want to talk about it. Okay, but the brain development thing, I was starting with that theme earlier. You play music a lot in more than half of your life. So the brain development had to benefit from music. Do you think it has helped you?
Yeah, I think so. I really don't know much to say about that, but I guess it helps make math and things like that come more naturally, I guess. But,
You a math guy?
I'd say so.
Yeah. What's easy for you in school?
Well, let's get the easy one out of the way. Band class. Also do jazz band as well. Je parle en français, so I take French too. That kind of came, the first year class came pretty easy. That and math are probably the best, or what I have best.
So what's the reaction from your friends in school or your peers? Do they give you support? They dig what you're doing?
Yeah, it's mostly get, oh, awesome, the guitar, yay, for whenever do like a solo or whatever, in jazz band, do some kind of performance. And usually it's just about that. I also half the, or if not more, the signatures in my yearbook say something about, yay, great guitars, or something like that. Keep being so awesome in music, things like that.
You have an identity, you're carving out your niche, aren't you?
I'd say so. Yeah, classes, yeah, it's gotta be.
Where did you learn that?
Um,
Style points, where did you get some of those?
I think big one was actually Tommy Carson. He's well, he kind of got me the whole shoes thing.
Yeah, those are cool. Those definitely
Yeah,
cool shoes.
actually, he was the one who brought me to Mr. Max in Tacoma and got for the first time to learn about that store. Store the shoes and shirts and stuff.
Start with the shoes. Okay, so let's talk about the music again. Sorry, I got into the shoes.
That's just fine.
You got a harmonica from the Oscar, am I right?
Yes, actually,
So-
got a kit or case of the Oscar harmonicas from when I met him on the Blues Cruise. I forgot how long ago, but it seems like a long time ago.
Like,
But it's
around 08, you were on the legendary Blues
Yes.
Cruise, which is probably when you were not even 12, 10 years old.
Yeah, something like that. And met with him and talked to him, and I think the big thing was that he saw me playing a Homer harmonica. Like, and pretty much, I think it like clicked in his head, I gotta fix that. And so I got information, address and stuff, and when we came back, like just a few days after we got home, in the mail were just all these harmonicas, all these different keys, different types, and have like that neck holster thing, so you play together at the same time. It was pretty cool.
You must have impressed him.
Yeah.
Well, and you've impressed a few other people. You're in Tacoma, so you've made those impressions there, but you started to make some other waves. Randy Oxford's had you at the youth jam at Jazz Bones there. I've got your list. Michael Miller Band, Mark Whitman, but it's a bigger list now, I'm sure. Ben Rice, Portland Waterfront Blues Festival. You've been at Rock Cut. What other festivals since this bio was written?
Actually, I know I do Mount Baker Blues Fest. Actually, Felicia and I are going to be playing at Mount Baker Blues Fest. It's going to be
In a month or so?
Yep, just about. And we're going to be on Friday night, the first act. And so actually, at Mount Baker, I've played for the last 5, I want to say. Really?
One of Lloyd's
It don't
favorites.
seem like it. Or this will be the 7th year that I've played that festival. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, it's it for Mount Baker. But Lloyd Peterson from Mount Baker, he just kind of was like, hey, I have to have you play on stage. And so it pretty much went from there.
Well, now, what is the, how'd you get on that legendary Rhythm and Blues Cruise? That must have been blowing your mind. 10 years old and you're on the legendary Blues Cruise. How'd that happen?
Well, again, parents, they're like, hey, we should go on this cruise. Okay. And ended up being a lot of fun. It's kind of weird because it's just so like a laid-back environment where you're like waiting in line at the buffet and you look over and there's like, who knows where, there's like Tommy Castro or something, and he like looks over at you and is like, so what are you having? Whoa, what do you say? It's like, I don't know, pretty crazy. Like, and all the people that are there in one spot, and all the music that's just contained in that one space is just so amazing. It's kind of hard to explain, and all contained in the one spot.
It's true. It's an intense boat.
Yes,
No,
it
wait,
is.
they don't call them boats when they're that big.
Ships.
Yeah. Well,
Close enough.
so you're going to be at Mount Baker. Also, I see the Taste of Music on your lineup for the summer. Is that this summer? Was it last summer?
I believe that would be last summer.
All right. So you're making your rounds. What is? Oh, darn, lost that question. I'm gonna have to edit that, Mike. What is the? I'm sure you get reaction from lots of great musicians, being on the Legendary Cruise or wherever else you're in Memphis. They must be inspired that you're so young and you're dedicated and you're very talented as well. What kind of responses are you getting when you personal?
I don't know, I get a lot of just the generic, wow, that's really good, just amazing for your age, things like that. Pretty much the same comments that she gets so often. Definitely not the girl playing drums comments, but other than that, he's saying, oh, wow, you're playing blues at such a young age, you'd think that you'd be playing something else kind of thing.
Well, and do you get that from friends and all? I mean, why aren't you playing hip hop or why aren't you playing
And not really, actually.
Ooh, that was a face.
Alright, well, actually a lot of my friends are they classic rock and things like that, so it's not all that different. So when I listen to it, it's like, whoa, it's pretty much what I've been listening to. So it's like, actually it kind of opened their eyes up a lot for a bunch of my friends to what blues music really is and not what they might think it is.
Very good of you to do that. Well, and you're playing some Cream, some Clapton, that'll tie those connections together. And you featured Felicia on Congo Square. That's an incredibly tough song. And you really drive that. You drive a lot of this thing, don't you, Felicia? Go ahead.
Thank you. I honestly, like Josh calls me on the phone and says, hey Felicia, we have a gig. And we're probably going to be playing these songs, but I don't really know, and it's probably going to be a shuffle, and yeah. And then I get up here and I don't know, we just kind of have a click, Josh and I, where he can look back and I know the difference between like, we're going to stop the song now look, and we're just going to stop for a moment look. Sometimes it gets messed up. But I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, we have this like mutual working togetherness that that helps me kind of be more at ease on stage. But I think I definitely couldn't do it without somebody as fantastic as Josh.
Yeah, you're both a force to be reckoned with, as I said earlier. Well, and how long have you been playing together? Tell me this number.
We met at a jam when I was 9-ish.